Well, good evening and morning. Good evening and morning, everyone. I know there's a few of you here already, so I'm just going to check on YouTube to see if we can see and hear me all right. So we'll be back in a minute. Can you see and hear me? Yeah, you look at it. Right. Okay. Right, so yes, that looks okay. That looks okay. So, chat. So I feel as if bringing the chat on screen worked last week. So, well, for the people that didn't catch up, so we did that last week. So that's what we'll do this week. And then obviously when we're doing the reading, we'll take the chat off. Okay, so let's get this on. It should come on in a minute. Right, so I'm going to highlight all these questions because the questions have come in already. One with Charlie. That one from Teresa. Anything else to win just now? I think that's the one just now. This one there. Right, okay. So let's go back and see everybody. I like to greet everybody anyway, but kind of spending a wee couple of minutes, it kind of just sets the algorithm so that it says, oh, they're just talking, and it's not that we're, we're asking questions. Anyway, so who's all here? So Peter's here. Morning, evening, Peter. Teresa's here. So take the register. Teresa's here. Hello from Palmerston, North, New Zealand. And hello, who cares? Who cares? Hello, Karen and everyone. I've got I've highlighted your question. So Peter again. Good morning, Karen, and hope you are. But I'm Karen. What my bell, I think I'm supposed to say. And Nanny Jules is here. Snooky was on, so obviously I've been playing with her, so she's all covered in fur. Well, obviously she would be covered in fur. I mean, I'm covered in fur. So Nanny Jules is here. Monica Karen. Thomas Snooky. Missing Dale. She was literally just in here about 2 minutes ago. Haven't seen her lately. Crazy. Wait, loose. Oh my goodness, and the weather again. Jeez. And Pamela's here. I'm here for the change. And Mel's here. Hi, Mel. And this is quite a name. Flow Dance Fitness Matika with Nazir. Oh, here she's coming. My God, I can't believe Snooky's coming in here. If I'm quiet, she might come in. And Vonnie's here. Are you coming in? Hello, darling. Oh. And Vonnie's here. And Christine's here. Hi, Christine. Morning from Wellington, New Zealand. Morning, Karen from New Zealand. It's going to be a national disaster. I highlighted that one. And Mary's here. Greetings from Ireland. Hi, Mary. And Margaret's here. Hello, Cam. Lovely to catch you this morning. Hope life is suiting really good. And a nice reading for Ireland, Mary. Yes. Who else is here? We had we had a mass flooding in the region over the last day. Oh my goodness. And night, crazy flooding, a beautiful week, and lots of. It just shows you that, doesn't it? What did you do? Where are you? Right, anyway, I want to get started quite quickly. So we're going to get started with the questions. So we'll take this off just now, right? And we'll put this one on. There we go. What are you doing? Like, you need to be good. No, you need to be good. Right. So, oh, there's Nancy. Nancy's well. Evening, Nancy. Right, here we go. The first question, we'll put these ones, because the questions have come in quite quickly today. That one. Right, this one. Question. Is King Charles fake? Is all Kingy boy fake? All Charlie boy fake? Well, I guess we should do that. So is all Charlie boy fake? Let's see. Is it fake? I can't make up my mind whether he's next to go Peter or Camilla. Well, Camilla really got snubbed. She really did get snubbed. I think it was a trooping to the colour. Right, here. Is it fake? Is Charlie fake? Let's see. Well, I just don't have to sort anymore. You just have the power. Do you know what I'm saying, Peter? I don't know if I never watched the funeral or Queenie, right? But for people who watched the funeral, which I don't think would be anybody here, right? But they broke, it was like the sceptre or whatever it was, and the hat and everything, and broke it. I feel as if that was a spell broken. That especially those in the UK were under. He's a fool. He's a fool. He's fooling the public. I don't think it's Charles, to quite honest with you. I think they're all fooling the public. I wonder if it's somebody young that's masquerading as him. Hmm. Well, the three main ones, that would be what? Charlie, William and the wee boy. I feel as if they're all fake. The fake king, I'm getting. The fake king. The guilty have gone. The guilty have gone. See, this is where I think, I wanted a front row. Maybe I didn't really want a front row seat. They're just there to do a service. Wake up the masses. Wake up the masses, I think. Well, I don't think, I know. Do you know what I'm here? It's as if something's going to come out about him. Some scandal. I mean, I can't keep up with all the news that's coming out and all the big drops that are coming in. That these people, these entities were getting up to. See, they're striking the line on it. See the way that is. I would say that was representing the throne, right? It's empty. The throne's empty. I mean, I don't know anybody else. I didn't watch the coronation because I thought it was, well, Thomas told me not to because it was the symbolism of it. It was like the Grim Reaper as well. The throne's empty. So, Peter, it looks as if that it is fake. I feel as if they always were fake. Oh, what a tangled web we weave. This is what I get every time this, well, not every time it comes out, but the majority of times. Oh, what a tangled web we weave when first we practiced to deceive. It was deceived, they were deceiving, they've deceived the public. The public. Divine intervention. Now, I feel as if what we're seeing now, especially in Ireland as well, and the UK, and I would say the Commonwealth countries, is the divine intervention of it. There's certainly been divine intervention in what's going on. I would say I'm going to do an update for the Middle East, but I need to put it in Rumble. Something happens and I've obviously, it's not ready to go up yet, but it'll be in Rumble because I daren't put it on this channel. I feel as if that's a big yes. His power's been taken, the whole power of the monarchies away. And do you know what I'm saying, Peter? Especially because obviously there's the Commonwealth as well. So that would take in Australia, New Zealand, Canada. It's a case of they've not got the power over the people anymore. They don't. I don't think they ever had the power over Scotland because of the Act of Union. But they've not. They haven't got the power over the. What was it? Oh, what was that called again? See, this is where I should know more about the monarchy, but it never ever interested me. Sovereignty lies with the people in Scotland, and sovereignty lies with the king and the rest of the UK. Well, sovereignty lies with the people all over the place now because they have lost their power. Do you know what I'm saying, Peter? It's as if he can't even lift the sword. You know, he can't even swing the sword. He's too weak. He's too weak to even lift it. Yep. Someone else. I feel as if the UK has been taken over. And I feel as if it's been taken over by it's kind of under the umbrella and the protection of the US. And the US is kind of under the umbrella of it is the United States of America, which is acting as like a kind of protector. You know, United States of America protecting anybody, but I feel as if that will guard us away. Thomas is saying, if you want to know what's not going on, don't watch the media. If you want to know what's going on, look outside. Use your intuition, your discernment, and that will tell you what's really going on. Meditate and contemplate. It's a case of, you know, it's like getting confirmation of what we already know. Sometimes we still just need that wee bit of confirmation, just so that it's no confirmation bias. So to answer your question, Peter, I think he's an imposter. Or not an imposter, that's not true, Thomas. He's an actor. He's an actor. There's quite a lot of actors, actually. There's quite a lot of actors and there's quite a lot of creatives acting. They're undercover. They're undercover now. So that was that one. Right, so hopefully that answered your question, okay? So I'm just going to kind of go through these now and see how many we can get done in the time. Right, Teresa, you're next up. Right, so Teresa. Can I ask the cards about going? Teresa, are you in New Zealand? Let's just see where Teresa is. Oh. Thanks, Michelle. Thanks, Michelle. What's that peer character doing a classic mic drop? Who's that? Thank you, Michelle, anyway. Who else has come in here? There's one there. I'll need to go back to this again. Teresa, are you in New Zealand? Australia? Are you in New Zealand? Right, I'll come back to Teresa because I need to find out what government. If it's New Zealand government, if it's governments in general. Right, so I'll come back to yours in a wee minute. Right. So, hello, you guys. I love your username. Any big events coming for July? I can't keep up with the big events. I really can't. Oh, there's been about 35 wee black girls, young black girls, teenagers all went missing in Washington DC. So we'll send protection to them, and I feel as if they're looking for them because these people are desperate because the wee ones that were in the I can't say them on YouTube. And the teas where the trains go on, trains underground, they've been rescued, so they're desperate. So anyway, right, so what's coming from July? Let's see. Oops. Oh, I feel as if there's a big money drop coming. There's a slander coming? Slander? What would the slander, Thomas? I feel as if this is money. I feel as if this is America. Money missing in America. Money's missing everywhere. Money's missing in America. And it's going to be found. And it's a scandal, by the way. And the scandal is who's got it. I feel as if we all know who's got it right now. There's a women military. You know how they're kind of gearing up. They're trying to get. I mean, we all know that they're trying to run the water restarted, right? But there's a woman in the military going to put the kibosh on it. I feel as if this is America. I wonder why I'm getting America. Maybe I need to do it. I didn't, because I've not done one for ages. I can't put them on this channel. Rebirth. I can't even remember what that was. Oh no, it was the big events. Oh, I'm asking Thomas how to say this. I feel as if this is what he's making me feel. He's not saying outright, but he's making me feel as if they're going to start dropping hints of what they were doing for 2020 onwards on those, see the trains that gone underground in the tunnels, I'll say it that way, and what's been going on under there. I feel as if they're going to be preparing in July onwards. They got those that we're all right, the government's fine. Ha 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 ha, nothing happens with the government. Sit down, please, for the love of God, just sit down. You know, there's going to be dropping kind of hints at what's been going on. And then as it goes on, these big hints will be like big bolts of lightning. As in, yes, you know, your children are in the safe, so keep a hold of them. Do you know there's going to be a U-turn in the journey? What do you mean a U-turn, Thomas? It's going to be looking like a U-turn as in careering towards the brink, right? So careering towards the brink of disaster, of them, the crazies, you know, wanting to blow everybody off the planet. There'll be a U-turn in that. I mean, people of the now are saying that absolutely not to it. Right, so, okay. Right, I'll move these up so we can get the rest on. So I meant to say, because I know we've got a lot of new people for the channel, right? Just to reiterate, right? This is the foundation of the question, right? This is the foundation of, hello, who cares, just question, right? And then we'll go further, because sometimes if you just put out like cards like that, it answers the question, but it doesn't. So I like to go deeper, just to make sure that Thomas usually tells me anyway, so just to make sure I'm interpreting it right. So let's go a wee bit deeper. What's coming for July? Persevere. Persevere with it. But what, Thomas? Persevere with what? So it's the public's persevering. And it's us that's persevering. It's those that are weak. We have to persevere, okay? Because they're wakening up the public. They're trying to waken up the public in Ireland just now. And it's in your face. It's in your face. I mean, they're so blatant, it's unbelievable. I mean, now that, you know, like say, I'm kind of keeping a wee eye in Ireland. What's coming out of Ireland is frightening. It's frightening what's coming out of Ireland just now. But they will be defeated. These people will be defeated. What's on the surface is just exposing them all. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm getting a vision for Ireland now. This is possibly because of just yesterday. It wasn't yesterday, it just went up yesterday, but it was a case of, for Ireland, it was like, what I'm seeing is like, has Ireland got military? Somebody for Ireland, can you tell me if you've got your own military? Because I'm seeing either that, it's going to be like, say, oh, wait a minute, because I always ask Thomas what I can say, because I don't want to kind of give secrets away. Right, there's going to be, this is what I can say for Ireland, because I know there's people for Ireland here, right? You're going to see a change in strategy. People are just out protesting just now, but there's things going on. That's that, and that's what's going on there, and they're protesting, but there's things going on behind the scenes. Behind the scenes. where, see, I feel as if these people that, I've got to say, this is the way I've got to say it, these unwelcome guests that have just come over, I see them getting rounded up. I really do. And I'm not the one that kind of, because I always say, Thomas, don't give me anything that, is, like I say, might not happen, but I do see them getting rounded up. And I see them getting on. It was the same with Scotland. I seen them getting rounded up in England and Scotland, coming up to Scotland in a plane in Prestwick Airport and out. I see that in Ireland. I am not sure when. I can't put a timeline on it. But there is a shift, and it is coming in from July onwards, and it'll be a big shift where you'll see, because it's a how dare you do that? The government's just now, this is to answer Teresa, the government just now is, they're getting nervous. They're all getting nervous because they know that, their kind of steely grip that they've got and everything is loosening. The game's a bogey. What they try to do is been laid bare. Okay. And when you get back to the question, this was big events. Yep. The public are kind of, it's like gratitude, yes, but gratitude for a job well done for the public. There's only so far you're going to push the public, and then they will push back. Yep, quest. This is a quest that we're all on, and we will win. It's a timeline. It keeps changing the timeline. Yeah, because I've tried to pin it down a couple of times, but we're in a war. It's a spiritual war we're in. And strategies do change. I've said that to the Soul family way back. Strategies do change. And one of the worst things that was said was that this was a movie. And those in the Soul family that have been with me from New Zealand and Australia, and then obviously latterly UK, and now the Republic of Ireland. This was never a movie. This isn't a movie, it's a spiritual war. And for it to be a movie, people this is why people relaxed. This is why people go, oh, it's a movie, we can all sit back. No, you can't sit back. You're in the war. And I always said that the white hats weren't coming in to do it for you. They're coming in to help you. But, and as I explained for people who are new, as I explained ages ago, what's the point of the white hats coming in, or them coming in to help you, and the public are just sitting there oh well, that's fine. And then they go away, they get rid of these people for a while because the public aren't aware of them. And if the public aren't aware of them, they could have just slinked back in with a sleeker, horrible people, evil. So they had to make the people aware. And it's been horrible and horrendous. And it's like now even coming up for July onwards, it's a hang on there. Just buckle up. Because it's going to get, I may as well just say it'll get worse before it gets better. But it's a hang on. But forewarned is forearmed for us. And this is a big wake up call for people who were just complacent. Okay. Oh. What's the next one, please? Yep. They're dismantling the system, and it's taken ages. It's took decades and decades. Well, it's took millennium and millennium. Loads and loads. But the new is coming in. I'm asking Thomas when we'll start to see it. We should be able to see it just now, he said. The new... See, this is where Thomas ceases to be my guide. And then he's just my soulmate. My husband, like, what are you saying? Because I don't see anything. But then obviously he'll say that, and then I'll do start seeing it. Yep, starry night. On the horizon. There's things on the horizon, and there's things coming in, and we will start to see them. We will start to see them. See, this is unjust. Reiterating. When I push back, he just pushes back. Oh, I think that... How am I going to say that, Thomas? Right. I feel as if this is happening in Ireland as well, right? Happening in New Zealand, Australia, the UK. See this nonsense about you'll win nothing and you'll be happy. That all Klausy used to say. No. I feel as if there's going to be a dismantling. This is how I'm feeling like. Kind of clear sentence. Where they wanted you to be in a 20, was it 15 minutes? No, was it 20? 15 minute cities, 20 minute neighbourhoods. I might have that the wrong way round. That's what they wanted to bring in. And that's the plans up it's up in the air. As we used to say in Scotland, remember when, you know, you're kicking the ball and it goes up in the slates and you can't get it. The game's a bogey. The game's a bogey for them. Their plan is fell apart, round about their ankles. This is the minions. And this is the time when they're the most dangerous. So be prepared. Thomas always tell you know, the Soul family will tell you, he always prepares people. He'll say, stay indoors when, you know, they've put people in to agitate, because I call them the agitators. So Ireland, be careful, because, you know, because you're standing up. Look out for the agitators coming in, because the government's put agitators in to agitate you, okay? And then so that they can bring in their draconian laws, even more of them. So they should be 2025. They should have the 20-minute cities and the 15-minute neighbourhoods, and they've got some of their cameras, but nothing's working. Nothing's working. People are like just ignoring them. See, I feel as if we're on the cusp of moving forward with something big. So I'm not sure what it is, but I feel as if it's going to be just laid bare for people, for the stragglers, for the people that are still holding on to hope, you know, that everything will be fine. You know, that I call them that I'm all right, Jack, my life's fine. Well, what are you going to do when your life's not fine? Anyway, so do we clarify today, please? Right. Dreams need a practical plan. This is... We're at the planning stage with the fight back. Because I feel as if people... This is people that are... I would like to take a wee... Not a poll, but a wee kind of... Maybe... Not the now, not the today, but maybe the wee read on how many people on the planet are awake. Because I feel as if there's quite a few now awake. You know, hopefully that's answered the question. Yes, there's kind of events happening all over the place, so I can't keep up. But Thomas always says, especially when you're kind of, if you feel as if you're getting dragged into it, you know, and then it's starting to kind of worry you. Well, worry you, but you know, you start to, it goes through your mental health and come out of it, go into, you know, a higher dimension. Go and do something else. Go and do something that you like doing. If it's reading or just watching uplifting music, just to get to, you know, so that the darkness doesn't, you know, it's to do with the light and it's to do with, you know, making sure that your mental health's okay. Because that's what we do. I go in, see what's going on in the world, say, right, okay, they've got it in hand. It's all to do with, it's exposing everything. And then I just go and do something else. Because I feel as if I actually feel myself getting angry. And these entities thrive off of anger. They thrive off of fear. As I said, 2020 was a pandemic of fear. That's what it was. Anyway, so that's that one. So hopefully that's answered the question. Teresa, did you come back to me with where you are to see? Let's see if Teresa come back to tell me where. Right, you're in New Zealand, right? Okay, because your question will be next. All right. So Teresa's question's next. What's going to happen to your government? Right, okay. Right, let me see. Right, let's see. Right, so the government of New Zealand, please, Thomas. Government in New Zealand. Let's see. Let's do the same question. There we go. Right, we'll do this question about the government, right, and then we'll go into Michelle's question about why Ukraine's getting all that money. I mean, Ukraine, they must be the richest country in the whole goddamn world. The amount of money that they're getting for people. Well, for countries, not for people, for people. Anyway, so I digress. Right, can you ask the cats about what's going on? What's going to happen to our government? The New Zealand government, Thomas. New Zealand government, that's Luxton. What it says, Daniel, is it Daniel? The wee guy, the wee guy, the deputy leader. Is he good or bad as well? What's going on with them? Let's see. Oh wow. See, this might be Michelle's question as well. Something. Are they pleading poverty? The government? Are they saying that they've no money? They've always got money. They've always got money for more, but they've no money for anything else. I guess there's something else. There's justice. See, this is why I like doing the foundation, because sometimes I don't get this. Justice. Oh, secrets. Do you know it's like three secrets have been revealed, right? Or three things have been revealed. They're sitting in one, right? It's like resting in your laurels. There's somebody praying. Who would be praying? I always say what I feel, right? What I'm feeling and what I'm getting, right? I never kind of shy away from anything, but I feel like I'm wondering if there's a calm before the storm, which will tie in with next week, because next week is New Zealand's update. I think that's Wednesday. Why am I getting a calm before the storm? Oh, jeez. I know that it's a coalition government you've got, isn't it? It's a three. Like so there's it Luxton's government, Luxton's party, and then there's another party who the guy's just taken over for Winston, and then there's Winston's party. I wonder if there's going to be unrest, as in disharmony within the parties. I feel as if they're going to try and bring something in that is going to cause a storm. I wonder what that is. Right, we'll move this up. So what's going to happen to the government? This is over money. But that's a kind of individual thing. And I wonder if it's a project. No, I feel as if it's another party though. There's a party in the parliament making waves and shouting loud. I feel as if this is policy. I feel as if this is policy though. I know I always say what I know, right? I know there was like trouble going on within the government and within, was it 2 weeks ago? It must have been 2 weeks ago. Where there was a lot of shouting in Parliament. I feel as if there's still going to be. I don't feel as if anything was resolved at all in that. Oh, see, they're going to reject. There's a policy that they're going to reject. There's a policy that's causing. I feel as if this is dissent. But this is within somebody's party. This is within somebody. I don't know if it's Loxton or what party it is, but there's a policy that they're trying to push through that's it sounds like the UK, that's causing a lot of dissent just now. Right now, I feel as if there is. I'll come back on the comments for a minute to see. Is there three parties in power? Oh, thanks, Pamela. Thanks, Pamela. Is there three parties in power, right? Power sharing. Yeah, I seen that, Joe. Thanks. Is there three parties sharing power? There must be, because there's Luxton party, and then there's the new wee deputy head, the new deputy. And I feel as if that's a party, and then there's Winston's party. I feel as if right now they can't agree on the colour of. Oh well, I was going to say something really bad there, but the colour of the grass just now. There's this harmony. I feel it's over policy, but it's over money as well. I wonder if a party's going to walk away. So if one party pulled out, would that bring down the government? Mm-hmm. See, it's as if this must have been on the news. Whatever's going on has been on the news. Hope it's the pandemic treaty. Yeah. But they're asking where the money's going. The technology bill. Wonder if we ask if it's a technology bill. What bill is it? Right, it's a three-party coalition, right? So that's the Seymour, isn't it? I see, and Winston Peters. Right, okay. I feel as if they're all arguing over money. Jockeying for power. I wonder if somebody's going to try and take over. Oh, Wednesday's reading should be interesting. Seems like in a bittersweet. I feel as if they're all jockeying for position. And I feel as if when they get into a coalition, right? So for those of you who are new, I went to university and I studied politics, right? So I kind of know politics, right? So I wonder if they're jockeying for position, and I wonder if when they went into coalition, there were certain, like say, Seymour's party was said, oh, you can get this, and Winston's party had went in with their list of demands, and they're all. I feel as if Loxton, who I think I've did, like say readings on him quite a few times, and no yawn me when you shiver. I feel as if they're going back on that, so it's causing friction. It's causing friction. So we'll go back on because I don't want to lose the actual question. And then we'll go on and we'll do Michelle's because it's kind of tied in. I'm reading I'm just going to say Flow Dance Fitness. I'm not doing that mouthful. Flow Dance Fitness is. I remember I guess it might have been a year ago, seeing something that was going to happen in Japan. Wonder if that was it. Right, let's see. Oh, I'll see. Storms from within. I feel as if there's turmoil in it, Teresa. Turmoil. There's a snake in the grass and that. I don't know what party it is though. The parties might all have snakes because they've all got, people that has been installed in the parties. I'm wondering if Seymour has he's seen Seymour. I wonder if he is. I mean, no pun to his name, but I wonder if he's seen more than his eyes are getting open about. I don't know. I mean, I have read about him, but it's that long ago I can't remember what came out. Well, let's see. I'm wondering if that government's going to come down. I don't like to say things because I don't like getting people's hopes up. Especially, I mean, Pamela will tell you herself, I thought that our government was coming down in December. There's nobody more disappointed than I was. But obviously, it was there to kind of expose what's going on now in the UK. Is there a woman kind of been pushed to the front in that part? I feel as if it's Luxton's party been pushed to the fore, because that's what I'm seeing. I wondered if somebody's going to challenge his leadership. And I've seen that before. And I also seen him resigning, which didn't come. Sometimes I hold my hands up, because I thought that was, I had seen that, and it never came to fruition. So they've maybe kept him in and all. Because sometimes I think, wait a minute, did I get that wrong? And obviously it's not happened. So I'm not going to say, I misinterpreted it. I've obviously, it's not happened for whatever reason. So let's see what else there is. Oh, 2. Right, there's 2 I want to do, and then we'll kind of go right in and do Michelle's. Surrender. I feel as if this is a bone in contention of, I wonder what they're trying to do. I'll watch this back just before I do the reading, the update for New Zealand on Wednesday, to see what's going on in the government. A time to give rather than take. Give back to the people, so they take from the people. There's a policy as well that came in maybe during the scary flu, we'll say it that way, the scary flu. That needs to go. I feel as if, I wonder if they're going to throw that one out. I mean, they kept all the emergency powers over here. Right, so, okay, so hopefully that's answered it. So maybe it'll become a wee bit clearer, Teresa, when I kind of do a bit of a dive into for New Zealand on Wednesday. If it's not on Wednesday, it'll be up on Thursday, okay? But I'm trying to keep to the days that I've said. Right, so I was just going to, we'll keep them there, right? Because this is just expanding on it, right? So why does New Zealand PM give so much money to Ukraine, right? Michelle, everybody gives money to Ukraine. Everybody. So, I mean, they must be sitting in a fortune. Right, so this is Ukraine. Boy, darling, what's the matter with you? You're all right. Right, so, can you see them? Oh, you can't see them. Oh, all right, okay, that one should out that way. Right, so, why so much money to Ukraine? I mean, they're literally bankrupting countries. What's the matter with you? You just need to wait. Snooky, I can't hear. Listen, I'm trying to do this, darling. Oh, well. Do you know, it's stressing people out because they're literally taking money from the public and pushing it through Ukraine. I feel so it's that word. The rest of everybody read the rest of the question because I can't say it on YouTube. I say I can't say it on YouTube and then I'll forget and I'll say it. I feel as if there's something big going to come out about Ukraine in August. I was going to say, did that before the war start in August, but it didn't. It started in January or something, or February maybe. Okay, 2 minutes, darling. They've got a bag of fish to fry just now. She's trying to get me up off this chair. I don't know what she can't be hungry. 2 minutes. Oh, there's going to be a big pushback in Ukraine. I mean, he was over in the UK. I think he was over with the bacon bowl. I wondered if they're going to negotiate an end to it. It's coming up. They're coming up then. Big jump. Big jump. It's okay, for the love of God, 10 big jump. If you're coming up, then coming up. Big jump. God's sakes, Ricky, come on. I don't know what's you're wanting. You just need to wait. I'm too busy now, darling. No. Right, okay. What's it? Right, is the money being how am I going to ask this? Where is the money going? Because it's certainly no staying in Ukraine. Where's the money going? Right. Big jump. Over looking for the love of God. Are you jumping up or not? Honestly, it's worse than having a baby. Well, it's not worse than having a baby. A baby's lovely. People are getting impatient with this. They're getting impatient. They can see it, and they're starting to ask questions. So, as in just exactly what you asked. I can't lift you. You don't like getting lifted. I don't get that. Thomas, what do you mean renew? Go back to the start. So where is the money? Oh, do you know where I'm just going to say it. The money is in Brussels. That's where the money, it looks as if the money is in Brussels. It's not the European Union though, but it looks as if it's stashed away somewhere in Brussels. Renew, I feel as if it's going to be recovered. I don't know when though. It's not an isolated incident either. I wonder if this has been going on for years. I mean, I know it's been going on for years and years. I feel as if it was ramped up during the scary flu that wasn't a scary flu. The scary fear. We'll call it that. I don't get that either. I'm not kind of wait to these ones on top. Right, let's see. Oops. I don't think I'll get to other people's. I'll maybe do a wee special read on Japan later on. Maybe do a wee end of the month or something where you just read on other things like Japan, the rest of the world. Maybe do a reading for the rest of the world. Right, okay, let's see. There we go. See how the people, nothing like say, there'll be New Zealand, there'll be Australia, there'll be Ireland, there'll be the UK, well the rest of the UK. See all these great big black holes that they're talking about in the finances? I feel as if we should all go to Brussels and say that. See that money, we need it. Give us back our money. Thieving. They're thieving. Yep. There's people behind the scenes, right? I feel as if this is Mr. T, right? Going round the scenes, collecting the money from from Brussels, and it'll be redistributed to the countries that it was taken from, and they won't get away. They won't get away with what they did. They won't. But again, it's the creed of greed. Letting people know that your government's not got your best interest at heart. Yep. I see the resignation of somebody in Australia, somebody in New Zealand. See, I'm hearing like heads will roll, not literally, but heads will roll over this as well. Over, you know, why all the money's going there. Do you know? I think you're Michelle. I think you're right. I think the rest of your question, I can't say it out loud. You know, because YouTube, they're taking from loads of they're just literally taking the wealth out of the earth and putting it in a great big pot for themselves. I said that they actually do think that they've bought the planet. And everybody on it, and everybody on this planet saying, I don't think so, pal. So anyway, yeah. They've been conjuring up things that I don't like doing this road because I'll not, you know, because then you're out with the sage and everything. There's snakes in the grass and everything, and they've been doing evil things, and they've all been caught. I've just realised why Snooty's up here. She likes the light on in the lounge and the light's not on in the living room. I'm coming down in a minute. I'll put the light on in a minute. I don't know why she just likes the light on, but she does. In a minute. Right, so the energy of the earth is gaining momentum. This is why you're seeing everything that's going on, okay? Right, so Michelle, I hope that's answered your question. I wonder somebody else had a question, I think. Let's see. Ah, that makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense. Somebody else. I'm just making sure that there was somebody else that asked a question. I don't know if I'd maybe answer it now. 2 minutes. Pamela, did you have a question? Jelly bean. An islander kindness. Yeah, that's right. Kindness is classed as weakness. I wouldn't, hang with the Irish because they'll take so much and then you'll just let fly. I'm going to be doing an update for New Zealand, okay? So I'm going to bring these on so that I can keep a wee eye on these. Because obviously, see when as soon as I end the live, these go away, the questions. I think that was everybody then. Hi James from Auckland, calling you live today. Have I missed anybody? I don't know if I have. Just to say before we. I think that was all. I'm coming, Snooky Hen. I'm coming. Goodness me. You're very loud. Yep, you're very loud. Where's your question? Did I pin it? I don't even know if I pinned a question. I went to say, I can find your question, Pamela. Before I go. Jack, I can't find your question. Right, question, right. You've asked me that again. That's good. Ah, right. Okay, I've put this off. Right, okay. Oh my goodness, Lucy's loud tonight. She's not been in for months and months and months. 2 minutes. What will be here forever trying to get these separated? Right. Right, we're running over, so apologies to the people in New Zealand who need their beds soon. Right, put that there. But 2 minutes, Snooky. That's the only thing about using three, a set of oracle cards and 2 sets of, the tarot. It's to separating them all again. Right, there we go. Right, so last question. Right, last question for tonight. We're going to be taking in for questioning. That big climb down. Do the people, anybody from the UK, do you believe there was going to be a rebellion, right? And they were all going to vote against these cuts to disabled, right? Does anybody believe it? I don't believe it at all. I think they'll wait and then they'll get it in by the back door. So they will. And I feel sorry for people who are disabled because they're all celebrating the night, Oh, right. Well, our MPs be taken in for questioning. Something's afoot with some. Things are falling into place. Oh wow, geez, oh man. It's like the pennies dropping. The pennies are dropping. Have patience. But here I'm still seeing like Robin Peter to pay Paul, so will it be the illusion of it? We've learned one lesson and shut up, please, just give peace. I don't believe a word you say. But there will be a celebration, so is it some of them? Something definitely is afoot though. Has anybody noticed that when they get into power, if you've noticed, it ages them? And it's as if you're seen behind the mask. Like, your tartan tyrant, like, Mrs. Teeth. So I'll need to have a wee look at the Irish government to see what the before and the after. Those that were there in New Zealand, in Australia. they all, it's not even a case of age, it's just, it's as if you're seeing the entities, I'll say it that way, you're seeing the actual entities. Some of them I can't even look at. Forget 2 minutes, darling, I know. In a minute. I don't get that. Maybe it's just because I'm tired now. I'm looking at it to see what the cat can see. The hold that they've got over people is disintegrating, especially with the young. The young don't even give them credence. You know, I always said, don't never, ever, ever put MPs up on pedestal because they you know, hold every aspect of your life in the palm of their hand. Oh well, there's joy coming. There is joy coming. I'm wondering if they are going to. I'm seeing a police investigation as well. I wonder. Do you know what I'm seeing, Pamela? I'm seeing a police investigation, and do you know what I'm getting? I'm getting corruption. But it's not the police. It's not the the UK police, the Met police, whatever police. This is an outside agency that's coming in to investigate, and I feel as if it will be the UK, Ireland, the government of New Zealand, the government of Australia. I feel as if this will be all under the umbrella of what's going on in America. I'll need to kind of use my Rumble channel because I mean I pay for the bloody channel. I should be using it. See the door's been opened to all the corruption. Oh, I've said it about umpteen times. It's someone that I've still got the channel, but the keys they're in the recovery stage. I know it's hard to believe, but we are in the recovery stage. Oops, that one. Oh, do you know what I see? Every time I say it, and I say it to you, Pamela, hopefully I'll say it this time. Hopefully this will be the end of Stanmore. I can't see him recovering unless he's still out what's going on. But it's like well rested. Oh, hard rested maybe. I feel as if I don't see it arrested, but I see investigations going on. I really do. About what's been going on behind the scenes and how evil it's been. You know, hi Leanne. Still a bit of a black cloud hanging over the UK. Well, you don't see this is just sarcastic. You don't say it honestly. I feel for that it's a yes and no answer. There will be questioned. I still see I see arrest and I see how something's going to happen with Starmer anyway. So there we go. So apologies if I didn't get to your question. Let me come on. And we'll take this one off. And these ones just now. Snooky, what are you doing, Hen? I can hear you. She's playing in the box now. Right, I'm coming in a minute. I can't believe I've got a cat that has anxiety if she's in the dark. I thought cats were supposed to see in the dark. Right, anyway, so I just want to see if anyone else came in. I know Leanne came in. That's okay. That's okay, Pamela. I'll see you on Sunday. I think that was everybody. What's this, Linda? Well, that's the will increase. Right. The ones I didn't get to, for New Zealand, because I've got Australia to do Monday, and New Zealand. If it's not on Monday, it'll be on Tuesday, and if it's not on Wednesday, it'll be on Thursday. Okay. Anyway, well, there's Mary. Yeah, thank you, Karen, very much. Oh, thank you, Mary. Right, so I'll go. I'll be back next Friday, because the really Friday is the Fair Friday, right? That I'll be a wee. I'm just a wee gallivanting, you know. I am maybe going out for a meal or something. I don't know yet, but anyway, I'll play out. Have a lovely weekend. The Patreons I'll see, or well, the Telegram channel I'll see you on Sunday. Thanks for the update, Cam. That's enough to last me for another month. There'll be another update coming soon. Let's see, Sandra's just arriving. Sandra's arriving at the last minute. Just arriving, love you all. Right, so I'm wanting to see what to play out. Can't you tell looks lovely? Oh, thank you. I like it with a wee bit of a fringe. And Deb's here too. Trevor Mallard is that? His face in charges. Oh, in Nuremberg for blasting in the living room with music. Oh wow. Before I go, did anybody see that person from Israel picking that wee 2-year-old up and just slamming them? This is what worries me when now that they're fleeing, you know, because obviously they picked a fight with Iran and Iran knocked them out of the park, and now they're all fleeing. That's a worry, because if they've been brought up with thinking that they could just do anything to those that they deem the enemy, maybe I maybe need to kind of, I want to do a reading on that, but that needs to go on Rumble. Anyway, so I'll need to go because I'll just ramble on if I don't. And we'll be here all night, and it must be late in New Zealand. New Zealand need to get to the bed. Right, so as soon as I do this, I set this up, I'll just start playing, so I'll say good night and have a lovely weekend, and I'll see you soon. Snooky's at my feet, and I'll see you soon. Okay, love you lots. 2 minutes, Snooky Hen.